What's up everybody, Joe from Mojo Break Gaming here. Today we're going to be covering the new BT11 Mastemon deck profile. Let's go ahead and get started. Starting with the level 2s, we're going to be running 4 of the starter deck 10 Neoromons. This one has an inheritable effect of when attacking, draw 1, trash 1. The reason why we're running a draw 1, trash 1 is because we're going to need to get into our deck as fast as possible, and we're also going to be needing to put cards in the trash intentionally so we can play those from the trash through the effects in our Digimon lineup. And we're also going to be splashing in 1 Yaemon from EX2. This one says while there are 10 or more cards in your trash, on your turn this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP, which we're going to want to get that extra 2000 in case we need to swing over some strong bodies. Next we're going to be talking about the level 3s. We're starting with a playset of Candlemons from BT8. This is a yellow Digimon that evos off of purple or yellow level 2s, and it has an inheritable effect of when you play another purple Digimon, gain 1 memory. And if you notice in Mastemon decks, this effect happens a lot. Next, we're going to be running a 3 of Gabumon from starter deck 6. This one has an effect of when attacking, trigger draw 1, then trash 1. So it's basically a Neoromon, but except we can also get that in the level 3 lineup. So Gabumon is good for the reason that it helps you search faster. Next up in the level 3 lineup is going to be the Gazimon from BT3. This serves as your memory blocker. What you're going to notice in BT11 is there's going to be a lot of ways to gain memory through Digimon. So Gazimon being kind of the ways to counter that will come in handy. So we're going to be running a 2 of just to kind of make this a problem for your opponent. Next, we're going to be running a 1 of Psychmon. This is kind of your Death Xmon counter card, so your opponent's Death Xmon can't come out and just cause problems to you. Psychmon can also protect you from Digicross cards, which you might notice in Shoutmon decks or Blue Flare decks or other decks that will do Digicross. Psychmon will also be able to have an answer to that. Next, going into the level 4 lineup, first up is a playset of the Gatomons. The Gatomon here is your bread and butter level 4. It is the best card to see on your opening turn. This one has a really good on play effect to reveal top 3 cards, add 1 yellow Digimon and 1 purple Digimon. And that is a really good effect for the reason that you can pretty much grab every single Digimon, and if you get a yellow and a purple on the same reveal, that's just even better. And then it has a really awesome your turn effect. When this Digimon will digivolve into a Digimon with Archangel or Fallen Angel in its traits, you can reduce this memory cost for the Digivolution by 2. So you can evo into your Lady Devis or your Angelwomons for just 1 evo. And then it has a really awesome inheritable where the end of your turn you can DNA Digivolve into one of your cards, which is going to be pretty much Mastemon when we want to pass over turn. You'll notice that Gatomon effect really comes in handy. Next up on the level 4 lineup is going to be running a 4 of Devimon. The reason why Devimon is so good is that it can evo off of the yellow or purple Digimon for our level 3 lineup, so it works on any evo there. And then it has a really good effect of your turn while you have a yellow Digimon or yellow Tamer in play, this Digimon will gain Rush and Retaliation. Also works with this next card that we're going to be talking about, Angemon. Angemon is another yellow Digimon. It evos off of purple and yellow, so it serves any of the level 3s that we need to evo on top of. And it has a really good on deletion effect that works with Devimon. If you have a purple Digimon or purple Tamer in play, you may play 1 Devimon from your trash without paying its memory cost. So you can see how this kind of plays in through effects, which is kind of why you want certain cards in your trash. What's really good about this is with the Devimon is you now replace the Rush Gatomon with this Devimon. Being a 2 evo on both Angemon and Devimon work really well. Next, moving on to the level 5 lineup, we're going to be running 3 of the Lady Devimon from BT11. This one has a when digivolving, you may trash 1 card in your hand. If you do, you can return 1 of your Mirai Tamers or 1 card with Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel in its traits from your trash to your hand. So that's a really good effect in case somebody's deleting your Tamers. You can get your Tamer back or a special card that you need to help combo on your turn. And then it has a really good your turn once per turn, and when you play Angelwoman or Mirai, gain 1 memory. And then the inheritable effect says your opponent's turn, while you have a yellow Digimon in play, all of your Digimon with Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel in their traits gain Retaliation. We're running a 1 of Lady Devimon from starter deck 10. This evos off of purple or yellow, and it has 6 KDP, 6 play cost. When digivolving, you may trash 1 card in your hand to reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 yellow and 1 purple card with Archangel, Angel, or Fallen Angel in their traits among them to your hand. Place the remaining at the bottom. The reason why we're running a 1 of and not a 4 of the BT11 is because sometimes we need to continue our searchability in case the other searches didn't quite work. So splashing a 1 of really works well here, and it pretty much has a very similar inheritable as the BT11 Lady Devi, which says your turn, all of your yellow Digimon gain retaliation. Next, we're going to be talking about Angelwoman. We're running a 2 of Angelwoman from BT11. When digivolving, you may search your security stack for one card with Archangel, Angel, or Fallen Angel in its traits. Reveal it, add it to your hand, and recovery 1. This card is good for just searching in another area in case you do need to get one of those cards out of your security. This also is good because you can check to see what's inside your security, which also can come to an advantage knowing what you have in your deck and knowing what you have in your security pile. The your turn once per turn effect says when you play one Lady Devi or Mary, gain 1 memory. So it's similar to the Lady Devimon. This inheritable effect is quite different though. On your opponent's turn, while you have a purple Digimon in play, all of your Digimon with Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel in their traits gain blocker. This is something new to the Mastemon deck, so being able to splash some blocker in here, having a big boss monster and being a blocker might work really well, especially if you're Jogressing into Mastemon. Using Angelwoman as a piece to get into that Jogress would be awesome and can kind of come in handy and keep your opponent from being aggressive, which is kind of what Mastemon was struggling with for the most part. Speaking of being aggressive, that's why we're running a 2 of the Angelwoman from the starter deck 10. This has an on play, one of your opponents gets sec -1, so this also is another way to stall your opponent from becoming aggressive so they can't swing. And it also has an aggro inheritable effect saying while you have a purple Digimon in play, this Digimon gets sec +1. And sec +1 is important because you kind of need to get into the game if you're falling behind, and this is the only way Mastemon can get its sec +1, so making room for 2 of this Angelwoman feels good. And the last 2 cards for our level 5 lineup is 1 Magna Angimon, simply for an on-play recovery effect, or keep your game alive by making a recovery 1. And then we're also running a Lucemon Chaos mode, which is another great Mastemon piece where you can just play this through Mastemon's effect, and then being able to delete either a Tamer or one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon can be a huge wipe. Moving on to our level 6s, we're running 4 of the Mastemon starter decks. This is going to be your bread and butter Mastemon. This one is going to be able to Jogress off of the Angelwomans and the Lady Devis. It's combined together with some really solid inheritable effects. Mastemon's just getting a buff through inheritables and having some other combos to rely on. Not just the level 5s, but now the level 4s as well. This card, if you guys know Mastemon, this one can DNA Digivolve, bring a level 5 back from the trash into the security pile. And if you're DNA Digivolving, you can play one level 5 purple or yellow or lower Digimon from your security pile. When you do that, you can trigger the all turns effect. When you play another Digimon using an effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to that played Digimon. So for example, if I put a Lucemon Chaos mode from my trash into my security through a DNA Digivolve, I can then play that Lucemon Chaos mode, triggering Lucemon Chaos mode's on play effect, and then triggering Mastemon's all turns effect, which is kind of the bread and butter combo with Mastemon builds. In addition to our level 6s, we're going to be running 2 of the Ophanimon fall down modes from BT8. This card is still very good for what it does, because what you're going to notice is you're almost always going to have yellow and purple in your sources when you evo into this Digimon, so you're going to be able to recovery 1 and pop one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Pretty much keeps your game alive, potentially bringing some really strong cards into your security pile. And then moving on to our level 7, we're going to be running 1 of Death Xmon from BT9. This Death Xmon is pretty much a strong, dangerous card by itself in any other deck. On play, you can de-digivolve all of your opponent's Digimon, then delete all of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon after that. You can either use this through an on-play effect or when digivolving effect, and then end of your opponent's turn, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. So if nobody deals with your Death Xmon, then Death Xmon is just going to destroy your opponent's side of the field. Next up, we're going to be talking about our Tamers. This should be no surprise. We're running a 4 of the Mirei Mikagura. This says start of your turn, gain 1 memory. Your turn, when your Digimon digivolves into Angelwoman or Lady Devimon, if you have 1 or less Digimon in play, you can suspend this Tamer. You may play 1 Angelwoman or Lady Devimon from your hand with a different name from the Digimon that digivolved without paying its memory cost. So Mirei pretty much helps you get into your Mastemon and keep your turn alive, which is insane. This is why it's a 5 play cost. It's the first super rare tamer of its kind. Being able to play a free level 5 through a tamer, we want to see this card every single game. And then next up on our tamer lineup is going to be 2 of Kari. This is your memory setter. When a card is added to your security stack, you can suspend Kari to gain 1 memory. The reason why we're running Kari is because we want that memory setter and we want to be able to gain a memory through recovering 1 or adding a security card to your stack, which can be done through Ophanimon or Mastemon. Moving on to the option card, these should be pretty standard for a lot of Mastemon builds. 3 of Chaos Degradations. Chaos Degradation is just an insane card that can just take your opponent off of the field. The reason why Chaos Degradation is so good is because there's only 1 card in the Digimon card game that can actually deal with it, and that's Congo. And maybe not a lot of people are going to be playing Congo in this format. Pretty much this card just deals with any other Digimon that tries to protect itself from being deleted, which is what makes Chaos Degradation one of the best removal cards in the Digimon card game. So running a 3 of is important for Mastemon. Next, we're running a 3 of Flame Hell Scythe for the reason that it gives you minus 6,000 DP on your opponent's Digimon, and then you can play one of your purple or yellow Digimon with a 6,000 DP or less from your trash without paying its cost, which is pretty much all of our level 5s except for Lucemon in this build. So that's going to go ahead and do it for the Mastemon deck profile. If you like this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deck profiles. All feedback is helpful to make us better Digimon players at the end of the day. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next deck profile video.